So today I am going to read to you guys some poetry by a poet named Robert Burns. Those of you who are more familiar with older, more classic literature, particularly, Celtic literature, may have heard of him. He is one of the best-known classical Scottish poets from the latter half of the 1700s, and in fact is so well celebrated in Scotland, where he's from, that a lot of people in Scotland, and in fact a lot of people around the world, celebrate what's called Burns Night, or a Burns Supper, on the night of his birthday, which was January 25th. So, on January 25th, which this year was a Sunday, I believe, I was invited to a Burns Supper, which I had never been to one. I was only mildly familiar with his works, but it was quite enjoyable. So, this was just a small gathering with a few friends, and the others, it seemed, were far more well-versed in all things Scottish than I am. But it was really nice. We sat down and ate a lot of traditional Scottish food, including haggis. We drank, we recited poems, all sorts of fun stuff. And I know that a lot of Burns suppers are bigger than this, but as I said, this was a small gathering between friends. So I've picked out a few poems, some of which are just poems that I had heard, and some of which were read that night, and picked them out to read to you guys. In the background, I tried to pick out something that reminded me of, the grasslands in Scotland and stuff like that, and calibrate it a little bit to make it sound more like Scotland. Again, using mynoise.net, I'll post a link below, so if you guys like this background sound, you can continue to listen to it, but it's basically the sound of, as if you were riding a horse through the windy grasslands and hearing herds of sheep and their little bells in the background. So, that's what you guys are listening to right now. So, I've picked out 4 of his poems. Now, Robert Burns wrote a lot of poetry. I found a site online, which is just robertburns.org, although I will, again, link it below, which lists 559 poems of his, and I know that isn't even all that he's written. He's definitely written more than that, because there are poems that I remember hearing that I couldn't find here. So he's written a lot of stuff, so it's really no surprise as to why he's so highly celebrated in Scotland. And also, it's said that his poems are very good at exemplifying a lot of things that are commonly written about for that, both the time and the place. So a lot of poems about food and friendship and celebration, as well as, a little bit more body poems about, sex or romance and stuff like that. But yes, a lot of it is either sex or, sex and romance, or food and drinking and celebration. I tried to pick out a few that showed a little bit of variation within that, but there you go. So the first one I picked out was called Address to a Haggis, and this is what we started the night with for the Burns Supper. Of course, you have to start with addressing the haggis, but reading this poem to haggis. which just feels so Scottish to me. Of course, haggis is one of the things that the Scottish are most well known for, so there you go. Oh, before I actually read the poem, disclaimer, so this poem was written in 1786. Most of the poems were written around that time, which is why it's very much like Old English, and I'm probably going to say a lot of stuff wrong. So, just a warning. So, addressed to a haggis. Fair for your honest sonsy face, great chieftain of the puddin' race, aboon them a yet take your place, painch trip or therm, wheel are you wordy o' grace, as langs my arm. The groaning trencher there ye fill, your hurdy's like a distant hill, your pin was help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill like amber bead. His knife see rustic labor dight, and cut you up with ready slight, trenching your gushing entrails bright like ony ditch, and then, oh what a glorious sight, warm, reeking rich. Then horn for horn, they stretch and strive, they'll tack the hindmost on they drive, till of the wheels while kites belive are bent like drums. Then old Gidman mast like to ride, then think it hums. Is there that our is French rago, or olio that wad star a soul, or fricassee wad make her spew, or perfect schoner, looks down with sneering scornful view on sick a dinner. Poor devil, see him our as trash, as feckles as withered rash, his spindle shank a good whiplash, his knave a knit, through bloody flood or field to dash, oh how unfit. But mark the rustic haggis fed, the trembling earth resounds his tread, clap in his wily navel blade, he'll make it whistle, and legs and arms and hands will sned, like taps at tristle. Ye powers will make mankind your care, and dish them out their bill of fare. Old Scotland wants nae sinking ware, that jobs and luggies, but if ye wish her grateful prayer, gie her a haggis. Okay, so I'm clearly very bad at this, but again, this is him praising the haggis, which, I mean, if you're into that, personally, I had the haggis there, and it was quite good. Not my favorite kind of meat, but, of course, haggis is just made of meat leftovers and all ground up and put in casing, so I don't expect it to be, you know, some sort of 5-star meal kind of thing. Okay, so the next one is called A Red, Red Rose. This one's more like a love poem. Oh, my love's like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love's like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. As far art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I. And I will love thee still, my dear, till a' the seas gang dry. Till a' the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. And I will love thee still, my dear, when the sands alike shall run. And fare thee weel, my only love, and fare thee weel a while, and I will come again, my love, though 'twere 10,000 mile. That last line, though 'twere 10,000 mile, reminds me of that song by the Proclaimers. I will walk 5,000 miles. Wait, is it 5,000 or 500? It's 500, okay. But I'm pretty sure those guys were Scottish. So, interesting connection there. Anyway, so that's a little bit easier to understand what's going on, I guess. But of course it's a love poem, it's him, you know, whereas I'm sure with the Haggis he was talking a lot about stuff that's very much steeped in the culture. Here it's a simple love poem and you can very much understand, you know, I would love you till the seas go dry, until, you know, he calls it the sands of life, but till the sands of time run out. There we go. Okay. This one, oh, this one's quite a long one. This one's called A Man's a Man for All That. Okay, there we go. Here's the beginning. It's a bit of a longer one. Is there for honest poverty that hangs his head and all that, the coward slave passing by, we dare be poor for all that. For all that and all that, our toils obscure and all that. The rank is but the guinea stamp, the man's a gout for all that. What though on hamely fare we dine, wear hodden grey and all that, give fools their silks and knaves their wine, a man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, our tinsel show and all that, the honest man, though e'er say poor, is king of men for all that. Ye see yon Berkey, God a lord, what struts and stares and all that, though hundreds worship at his word, he's but a coof for all that. For all that and all that, his ribbon, star and all that, the man an independent mind, and looks and laughs at all that. A prince can make a belted knight, a marquis duke and all that, but an honest man's upon his might, good faith he mauna for that. For all that and all that, dignities and all that, the pith, sense, and pride of worth are higher rank than all that. Then let us pray that come it may, and come it will for all that, that sense and worth o'er the earth shall bear degree and all that. For all that and all that, it's coming yet for all that, that man to man the word o'er shall brothers be for all that. So this one, it's a little bit difficult to decipher, even though like the words are clearly, you know, a man's a man for all that. And you can kind of tell what he's getting at, you know, princes and the knights and brotherhood and honesty despite, you know, being poor, stuff like that. Independence. There are definitely bits that I can't quite understand, but there's on this site. Oh, that's not helpful. I just tried to on the site. The words, a lot of the keywords are in red, and if you click on it, it goes to a dictionary. And I was trying to click on one just now, but it didn't give me anything. So there was a line, he's but a coof for all that. Of course, then I click coof, and it says new dictionary reference, so I guess I just have no idea what it means now. But here's one. You see yon Berkey, cattle lord, yon means yonder. So, I'm guessing Berkey is like bird? That's just what it sounds like, but that one doesn't have a definition. Let's see. let's see, they have, okay, wear hodden gray, so hodden is man riding a horse, so there you go, there's another definition. I'm not going to go too far into it, but again, I'll post links in the description if you guys are interested in reading along and, you know, looking into the definitions of all these different terms. Okay, so last one I'm going to read is probably the most well-known thing he's written, Auld Syne, and I guess now knowing that he wrote it and in 1788, it makes a lot more sense as to why Auld Syne is Auld as an A-U-L-D and not O-L-D, as people sort of say it. But yeah, Auld Syne, commonly sung around New Year's, but I don't think that's initially what it was written for. I think it just sort of came to be that. Anyway, I'm gonna read it. I'm not gonna sing it because it's a lot longer and has more bits than the version that is generally sung, so I'm just gonna read it. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and Auld Syne? For Auld Syne, my dear, for Auld Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet, for Auld Syne. And surely you will be your pinstone, and surely I'll be mine, and we'll take a cup of kindness yet, for Auld Syne. For Auld Syne, my dear, for Auld Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet, for Auld Syne. We twa hae run about the braes, rode the garments fine, but we wandered mony a weary fit, sin Auld Syne. For Auld Syne, my dear, for Auld Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet, for Auld Syne. We twa had piddled in the burn, frae morning sun till dine, but seas between us, braid hae roared, sin Auld Syne. For Auld Syne, my dear, for Auld Syne, take a cup of kindness yet, for Auld Syne. And there is a hand, my trusty fair, and gies a hand of thine, we'll talk a right good willy wot, for Auld Syne. For Auld Syne, my dear, for Auld Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet, for Auld Syne. And from what I know, Auld Syne just means something along the lines of like, for old time's sake, or something to that effect. It's basically about, you know, getting together with old friends and a cup of kindness, you know, of course, drinking, holding hands and talking and singing and having fun. So I figured that was going to be a good one to end on. This video is already getting quite long, but like I said, I will link to both the poems and to the video, the sounds in the background in the description. And that'll be it for today, and I will see you guys next time.